All right, ladies and gentlemen, piece of popcorn in the throat. All right, coming up with me, to my left right here, writer, director, and star, Kyle Richards. All right, and also actor Chris Ucci, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah. Now, I'm going to turn it over to you in a second, but I always have to have my first question. Which of you two have had a smocko? All right, am I saying that right?
Yes.
Smocko. Have you had a smocko?
I have indeed had a smocko.
Which way?
Just put some marshmallows and chocolate in a tortilla. we learned about it in Boy Scouts.
Yeah, the two of us were in Boy Scouts together, so, you know, plenty of smockos all around.
That might sound a little different than you did it to be. So, now that we got that out of the way, let's hear it first. Who's got some questions for Chris and Kyle? Come on, we can't be bashful. I'm not going to be up here asking all the questions. Yeah.
All right, what was your inspiration for the movie?
My inspiration for the movie was, oddly enough, when I was in high school, the song that's in the opening credits, I had downloaded it and just made me think of old B-70s horror movies and somebody riding their bike past graveyards, and that was the start of this script.
I noticed at the end of the movie you borrowed from Night of the Living Dead, the classic.
Yes, we at several moments. There's a few lines that are sort of lifted from Night of the Living Dead and scenarios. And other horror movies too. There's Day of the Dead, Dawn of the Dead, lots of references to, obviously Walter Romero, George Romero. The drug dealer's name is Lucio, after Lucio Fulci. So there's lots of little tidbits for those who seek them out.
Who's next? Come on, yeah. Is there supposed to be any relation between the werewolf and the zombies, or is that intentionally just dichotomous?
I think the best explanation for that is just at the end of the movie where he says "my bad." I never really was a big lover of them going into these very detailed explanations of where the zombies came from. It always sort of ruined it for me, so I just figured there would be no explanation.
Okay, now, Mark Borchardt. I always say I feel like I screw up that name. But he's obviously another Wisconsin filmmaker, horror filmmaker. American movies about him making Coven, not pronounced Coven, but, or wait, no, it is Coven. Yeah, it is Coven. Yeah, it is Coven. Yeah, that's a big thing. So tell us about the relationship with him and how you got him involved.
That was pretty cool. I can remember we watched American Movie in high school and stuff, and I thought it would be cool to have somebody like that in the movie. Our connection to him was another face that pops up a lot in movies around here, Rex Sykes. He was quick to say he had Mark's number, so he got me in touch with him, and Mark put me through a series of trials on my movie knowledge, and ultimately agreed to do the movie with us. Yeah, that was pretty cool. It was pretty cool. He's been really nice, and it was really nice that he did that.
Who's got another one? Yes.
It seemed like there was how much of that movie was scripted and then ad-libbed, because some of it seemed to have just occurred.
Well, you would be surprised how much of that was in the script, but honestly, most of it was. But I let certain people go off the script more than others. I definitely went off the script a lot myself, but Larry would probably be the one who improv the most extra. I don't think he said fuck quite as many times in the script. What would you say?
I don't know, I would say that it added to the dynamic, all the added cursing that came up, and it was just kind of an odd thing because it wasn't anything that we were thinking about. It was all the older actors that were putting these in. And I think it really helped for Larry's character. It really gave him a nice punching kind of quality.
You mentioned that the two of you were in Boy Scouts. Now, what about some of the other cast members? You know, is it their history back there? Is it a group of friends, classmates? Fill us in on that.
Yeah, a lot of the people. Chris and I have actually known each other since kindergarten, so it's pretty long time. Well, I guess the easiest way to know if I was friends with them ahead of time is if they're under 25, they were probably a buddy of mine, and if they weren't, it was probably somebody that I actually cast into the movie.
And how did the casting process work?
Casting-wise, again, I'm not really a big fan of doing casting calls and having a lot of people audition because I don't like to make people feel bad and have them put all that work in to just say no. So most of the people in the cast I just sort of hired based on very little. I think Steve, he plays Larry, he just emailed me and said, I'm willing to do whatever, this sounds good to me. And I looked at his picture on Facebook and I was like, sounds good, perfect. He looked like what I wanted, and I figured I'd be able to, if he was willing to do anything, I could certainly get him to do what I wanted. Charlie was the mayor. I just looked at one reel of his, and there was a scene where he was cursing at his son, and I was like, perfect, that's the mayor. Yeah, a lot of the people were just friends of mine and people I had known in my life, and then other people were actors in the area that saw casting posts we put online.
And what's the status of the film? It's not officially on DVD yet, correct? Okay, so what is going on with that?
Well, we have been we've been going back and forth with a lot of editing for a while. I think we finally have reached our final edit. We have a little bit of color and sound to touch up, but this is overall the final product, and now we're gonna try to get some final shows and hopefully do more events like this, and then we're gonna have the DVD thing going early next year, and hopefully like online streaming, who knows.
Any last questions? Oh, yes.
What kind of distribution do you have?
We have no distribution at this point. So, if you know anybody. No, we do not. Yeah.
Was that actual cat poop that Chris stepped in?
In fact, it was that was dog poop. Couldn't find cat poop big enough to actually read on camera, so.
That's true. We had somebody scoop it out of the yard we were filming at. So yeah, that's authentic, but it's not cat. It's not cat. It's dog.
Nope. Anyone else?
Well, all right, let's hear it for Kyle Chris in the Amateur Monster Movie once again. Make sure you talk to him afterwards if you want to know some more, if you're too shy to ask questions in front of other people. And we are entering the longer intermission, also known as the dinner break. We're going to resume at 6:35 with a short film called Hollow. So make sure you got your wristbands. You're welcome to come and go as you please. For those that are not familiar with Oshkosh, we do have some maps out on the front counter that have